Hi, my name is Sergio Mesa. Welcome to Easy ENG for You. Easy English for you. In today's video, we're going to be talking about causative in English. Sometimes students look at the title of the lesson and they get confused, scared, or sometimes they're afraid. But don't worry, in today's video, you're going to learn the causative like this. Stay with us. Okay, what crosses in your mind when you look at the title causative in English? Complication, right? Don't worry. I'm going to make it easy for you, okay? All right, for my Latino students, I have this example. Voy a lavar el carro, okay? Two things can happen when you say in Spanish the sentence voy a lavar el carro. There are two implications. Implication number one is that I'll do it myself, okay? It means that I'm going to take the car outside and blah, 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 and wash it, whatever. Implication number two is that I'm taking the car to the car wash and someone else will wash the car for me, which means I'm going to pay for that particular service, okay? Those two implications happen. So Latino students, pay attention, because when you are referring to number two is when you're going to use the causative in English, okay? So when do we use the causative? When we have arranged someone, okay, to do something for us, which means that it implies that you're paying that particular person to do something for you. That's the causative. Okay, it's a very simple explanation, but that's what it is and nothing else. Simple. I told you, it's not too complicated. Okay, how are we going to use the causative in English? There are two structures that I'm going to be reviewing with you in today's video. But I like to say that we're going to use two particular verbs. We're going to use the verbs get and the verb have to form the causative. In structure number one, we're going to see the causative but in the passive voice. In the second structure, we're going to see a different causative, but both ideas represent more the same, so they're not too different, okay? In the first structure, what happens with the verb get? We use the verb get, an object, and then a verb in the past participle. If you don't know what the past participle is in English, I invite you to look at my video, verb combination and verb forms in English, so that you know what the verb, so that you know what the past participle means, okay? Here's an example. Marcia is getting her house painted. This is the causative in the passive with the verb get. Notice that get in this case is going to be followed by another verb, but in the past participle, okay? With the verb have, what happens? Same. The verb, the object, and again, another verb in the past participle. Same sentence, same person, different verbs, because I'm going from the verb get to the verb have. In this case, Marcia is having her house painted. You see that what I changed was the verb, okay? But the meaning in the sentence remains the same. It's the same. It's very simple, I'm telling you. Okay, what happens with structure number two? It changes. In number one, both verbs after the object will be followed by another verb in the past participle. But in the second structure, as you can see, the verb get and the verb have will be different because of the following verb. In the first case, get will be followed by a verb in the infinitive, and have will be followed by a verb in the base form. Once again, if you don't know what the infinitive or the base form is, I already shot a video that is called verb combination plus verb forms in English. You can look at it. It's an excellent video. It will be clear for you this topic. Okay, let's continue. In the second structure, we're going to have basically the same. The verb gets an object in another verb. Look at this example. Valeria gets her sister to clean her bedroom. Very simple. With have is basically the same, but what changes is the consecutive verb. Have plus an object plus another verb, but in the base form. That's what BF stands for. It stands for base form, not best friend and not boyfriend, okay? And the example, Valeria has her sister do her nails, okay? In this case, what I'm saying is that Valeria is paying something to her sister to do something for her, okay? In this second one here, to clean her bedroom, she's going to convince her sister, but she's also giving something to her. As you can see, the causative is not too complicated. I told you, here on Easy ENG for You, we make it easier for you, okay? Until the next video, bye-bye, and stay with us.
Ho, 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 ho.